Hello, everyone. I am delighted to be joining you this morning and, of course, to be part of the many exciting discussions that I know that have been taking place over the past 3 days. You will have heard from a number of my colleagues from all sides of the political spectrum, whichever party we represent, and I saw this through the pandemic. Many of us go into politics in the hope of changing things for the better. That's certainly what gets me up in the morning racing to the Department of Education. But I know that very often those who do this on a daily basis, and you could argue who do it most effectively, are not always in Westminster, but are our local heroes, our community champions. And I know I see many here today. So before I go any further with my remarks, I'd just like to say a huge thank you, the very biggest thank you to everybody who has helped out as our communities battled the COVID pandemic. I know many local authorities really stepped up a gear to help fulfill the work of the vaccine, but also fill that vacuum in the early days of the pandemic. Your efforts have made an enormous difference to people's lives, as well as, of course, helping keep young people learning. But you don't just provide a vital safety net in a pandemic. I have been so moved and humbled by how communities across the country are opening their arms to welcome those who have had to flee their homeland, the Ukraine. We are standing shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine, and my department continues to work to ensure that all Ukrainian refugees are offered the same access to high-quality education and childcare that people who live here can expect. Local government, local authorities are playing a crucial role in this endeavour, and I am enormously grateful to you for everything that you are doing to make sure Ukrainian arrivals are met with those open arms, that warm welcome as they arrive in our country. There have been an estimated 11,400 applications across the country for school places for children from Ukraine, and an estimated 9,900 offers have been made so far. Obviously, this is a constantly shifting picture as the war in Ukraine continues. My job as Secretary of State for Education is to make sure that every child, every student, or every adult learner, wherever they are from, it might be Ukraine or it might be Uckfield, but everyone needs to have exactly the same chance to get on in life. Everything I do is driven by a clear duty to make excellence the expectation and not the exception for everyone right across our nation, and I am putting this into practice with my focus in the department on 3 things: skills, schools, and family. Our recent Schools White Paper sets out really stretching ambitions for children across the country, including, of course, recruiting and retaining excellent teachers, driving up attainment in literacy and numeracy, and ensuring efforts are focused on those pupils and areas most in need of our help. It joins the Skills Act, which we published in April, which is going to in my view, transform the way young people and adult learners get the skills they need for the jobs they want when they want them. Our expectation for excellence must extend to those who are most vulnerable, which is why we commissioned the recently completed Independent Care Review, the McAllister Review, and published our SEND and Alternative Provision Green Paper. And I'll talk a little bit more about these in a moment. I just want you, our experts, really, on the ground, at the front line, to be allies on this mission, because standards in some areas of our country are still too low, and I need your help. I need your help to keep up that momentum for change. We need our best leaders, that means you to drive change and level up opportunity. I know local authorities already champion the interests and well-being of all children in your areas. You are in a much better place to do this than anyone else, because you can draw together education, children's services, and of course those other vital services to improve the outcomes for any local children who need this help. Our systems have become much more complex over time, and there has been a gradual disconnect, if I can describe it, between the duties and the powers of local authorities, whilst demand for your services has risen. I think we all recognize that we need a much clearer idea of what we expect from local authorities in education and in care. It really gives us an opportunity, in my view, to reset how we work together. It is time to forge a new partnership between central and local government as we undertake transformational reforms across schools, high needs, and of course, the care system. For my part, what does that mean? It means making sure everyone has the powers and the resources they need to deliver on their responsibilities. But I can promise you one thing, my friends. It means that we will also have to improve the way we, as a department, work with you. The first step in this commitment is our new regions group. We are rebuilding the department so that you can work with a team that knows your area and your role holistically. This team is going to have a central role in helping develop policy to meet local needs. Another area where I think we have been working with you is on attendance. It didn't take a pandemic to make us aware that we have a problem with the worrying number of children not in school. The number of pupils who are persistently absent is going up, and I know you are just as concerned as I am about this. I will not stand by while children squander their future life chances. So we are looking to you, to schools, and of course to Academy Trust to develop your services in line with the new national guidelines to support and drive up attendance. There is something that I'm really excited about, which I know is going to be a great help in that regard, and that's a new trial on automating attendance data. I realize that I put an awful lot of faith in data, but my friends, I have seen firsthand how vital it can be, whether it is in running a company or in that national endeavor to vaccinate the nation. In January, we invited schools to take part in a data trial to monitor attendance, and around 65% came forward and said, we said to them, if you press a button, we can take this data and then share it back with you. The scheme aims to give a far more accurate picture of attendance. We're gathering the data directly from schools, from their registers, and we've started sharing it back with schools to help them with their day-to-day management. It's a new data gathering approach. Will also provide that sort of blueprint, I hope, for further improvement across the whole system. My passionate view is that data and transparency is the way you reform complex systems. And talking of improvements, we currently have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to create a really coherent system that supports all children and young people with the recent SEND review and, of course, the McAllister review of children's social care. I know that there are some tensions no doubt. And I'm determined to give local partners the powers and the resources they need to deliver our levelling up agenda. We want to build on the excellent work that has already been done by you, by local authorities, but also recognise the level of frustration with the current special educational needs and disability system from local authorities. This is why we conducted the SEND review and have published a green paper for consultation. We've worked closely with the LGA, and I'm proud of that work, in a cross-sector steering group, as well as, of course, parents, teachers, and most importantly, with the children themselves. They've told us that the system is not working as it should, and our green paper sets out how we can have a roadmap to improve the system and make it sustainable. We propose a set of improvements. We're going to set up a single national system which will set clear standards about what support is provided for children with SEND. As I mentioned earlier, I want a more inclusive education system with excellent local mainstream provision for every child for whom that is appropriate, and of course excellent specialist and alternative provision for those that need it. This will improve the experience and outcomes for children and young people with SEND and those who need alternative provision. Thank you for all your contributions to this so far. Please keep them coming, and that we continue to really deliver that excellence for every child, because the front line and that information from you makes the real difference. I know that many of you have also been making vital contributions to the changes we are planning to children's social care. We recently received the final report of the independent review, the McAllister Review of Children's Social Care, as well as, of course, the Child Safeguarding Practice Review Panel National Review into the tragic deaths of Arthur Lavinia Hughes and Star Hobson, and, of course, the Competition and Markets Authority market study into the children's social care market. These reviews will provide a roadmap for a much-needed reset of the system so that all children grow up in loving, safe and stable families, and where that is not possible, care providers and what care provides to them is the same foundation. My department is working flat out, my friends, flat out to put these changes into practice, and I expect to publish an ambitious strategy before the end of this year. Colleagues, friends, when it comes to education and care, we all share the same passions. But chief amongst them is our determination that every child should have the start in life we would wish for our own children. And every day that a child is not getting what we should be delivering is a missed opportunity to improve their life chances. I'm a man on a mission, my friends, and I know you are with me on this mission, and together I am certain we will achieve it. Thank you for listening to me.